Good morning. This is Michael Feiner of Feiner Wealth Management, and today is Monday, August 5th, 2024. I thought I'd give a quick market update because there have been some interesting things that have been occurring over the last week that I thought you might be interested in. Well, I was enjoying the 100-meter sprint for the men yesterday in the Olympics. The Japanese markets opened overnight and had a washout day and were down almost 12%. So that is starting to infect other markets around the world, in Europe, of course, and in the United States. Since the markets are down a little bit in the United States last week, we've been expecting a correction, which we really haven't had in 2024, sometime in the third quarter. We were initially expecting a market correction sometime probably in the late third quarter, but I think that's been accelerated by several events. Now, generally, market corrections are healthy as the market kind of goes up, it goes down, it washes out speculators. Obviously, it finds an equilibrium in buy and sell prices throughout. We have been expecting a correction. Corrections generally can be anywhere between 5 to 10% of a market, and certainly for high-tech stocks in the NASDAQ, that's occurred. Now, I don't think that the U.S. economy, which is slowing a bit or cooling, if you will, is itself the main cause of the current sell-off. I think it is what we call the carry trade in Japan. The Japanese actually raised interest rates, and that has caused an unwinding of the so-called carry trade, where people borrow money in Japan and invest in other places due to the lower interest rate. That's sort of infecting the markets in general. If you look at actual second quarter earnings that have come out now in the third quarter, about 3/4 of earnings have been above expectations for U.S. companies, so that's a positive. GDP was positive, as I mentioned in the last Feiner Wealth report recently. Last week, unemployment numbers ticked up a little bit, and job numbers were a little bit on the low end, but it's a little hard to tell just on 1 or 2 months. But clearly, the economy has been cooling, and we do expect a decrease in interest rates of 1/4 to 1/2 point at the next Fed meeting, or possibly sooner. I think the takeaway is that seasonality in the summer typically is weak. That's a contributing factor. The Japanese market unwind is a factor. General extension of the market and a correction being due at least once to twice a year is also a factor. So what we are taking a look at is working through this selling and possibly looking at selective purchases for people who need to purchase, and then for the market to have some sort of basic upward move after the selling has exacerbated itself. And generally, there is fourth quarter strength during a market election year, and we do still expect that to potentially continue so long as company earnings are stable. So we think now is the time to really generally hold positions unless there's individual weakness in a company and specific problems in a company, which it always can be the case. And this can be a great buying opportunity, but buy and hold at this point seems to be something that we are advocating. We don't expect this market to have a massive downturn at this point, but we, as always, keep an eye out on things regularly. So if things change, that will change our approach. But all of our indicators still suggest that we should have some additional increases in strength in the macro economy and potentially in the broader stock market as time goes by later in the year. If you have any questions, as always, please give me a call at 617-285-6259 or michael.feiner@feiner.com. Again, this is just general market update, not specific investment advice. So please call to discuss any questions that you may have. And these are just my current thoughts. So again, they're not really trading thoughts, but I think they might be interesting for everyone as we kind of take a look at a market sell-off that we haven't seen in recent times, at least certainly this year. Thanks so much, and I look forward to talking with everyone. Bye-bye.